Okay, Colton, so goodness, this is really just a big honor to get to have a few moments of your time. Thank you so much. As many of you know, Colton Underwood was the Bachelor for the show's 23rd season, and he's the person that scaled the fence for love, which I think is so awesome. I love watching that video too, Colton, because you literally do it effortlessly as if you're walking. Like there's no pause, there's no like oomph of your body, you literally just like scale that fence. And so the reason I'm so excited though to talk with you today, Colton, is because you survived a horrid case of COVID-19. And so I want to use this podcast to be able to reach people. But I also love all the stuff that you do outside of being, you know, a known figure, is that you have a huge heart and you're helping cystic fibrosis, which is a lung disease that I think is so important for people to know about right now, especially because COVID is connected to your respiratory system. So thank you so much, Colton, and welcome to the One Love podcast.
Thank you for having me on. I'm super excited.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, I wanted to start by congratulating you on the release of your new book. So it's called The First Time. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's an enormous feat. I have a little bit of commiserating with you in the sense that I actually tried to write a book years and years ago, and it was so daunting that anybody who writes a book, I'm just like, that is so amazing. So congratulations for even taking that step.
Thank you.
But I wanted to start by talking about baby Colton. So you had mentioned that you were overweight as an adolescent. And so I'm curious, were you overweight for a reason? Like, did something happen in your life that was tragic? Or were you just overweight because a lot of times kids they eat bad food, we get into bad, ruts. And so I wanted to find out about that starting from the beginning.
Yeah. So as like a young kid, I was always sort of lean and tall. And then in grade school, I started getting fuller and thicker and bigger. And it was the same time I was playing football and I was on the offensive line. So, their job is to be big and take up space. So it was like one of those things that I was like, I might as well embrace this and keep eating. And I was eating unhealthy, obviously. And, it was something that I didn't see how it affected me until later in life when I felt healthier, when I felt more productive, when I had more energy, once I changed my diet in high school. So grade school, Colton was definitely going through a lot. I had a lot of insecurities. I had obviously some weight issues, some acne. I mean, what grade schooler doesn't for the most part, but mine was a little bit different.
Yeah. So were you ever bullied or made fun of or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would obviously constantly get made fun of for my weight. And then, I had, I think glasses at the time, I had braces at the time. I also had a habit of licking my lips, which is weird, but it would give me chapped lips. So people would call me like four lips. So I had some gnarly things. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yep.
Okay, I love you even more now. That's amazing. Oh my God, I can just see little,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. That's amazing. So is there a moment from your childhood where you feel that moment that isolated moment has greatly shaped who you are today?
I think there's been quite a few in my childhood moments. Obviously the game of football has taught me a lot about adversity, a lot about fighting for what you want and working hard. So I can contribute a lot of the moments to the game and to the sport of football.
Mm-hmm. And how did your love for football come into play?
Well, my dad was a football player and my brother and I played quite a bit. My mom was an athlete as well. She played volleyball. So grew up in a very athletic family and football was just sort of a natural thing for me to do.
And I saw you were with the San Diego Chargers, which
Yes.
I'm a huge fan. I used to have season tickets when they were down this way.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, they were great. It was awesome. I really enjoyed my time in San Diego too.
Yeah, it's beautiful down here. And then what was your first job?
My dad owned a construction company in Illinois, so I worked just manual labor. I mean, all sorts of cleaning houses, laying sod, painting, just the most random things, but I was manual labor.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's great in terms of like you're also getting a workout at the same time.
Exactly.
So I wanted to dive into now about talking about your book, The First Time,
Yep.
which I'd already said is it's just so amazing that you even wrote a book. So when did you start writing this book, and how long did it take for you to actually get the completed product?
So I started the process because for me it was a lengthier process. I started right after my season. I was in New York and I met with a booking agent, met with all the publishers, and sort of just I'm a big guy on I like to feel the room out. I need to know who I'm working with. I need to feel connected in more than just a business type sense. So I took some meetings and they went really well. And then I had a little bit of help from a professional writer too, just because my schedule was so busy that I knew I wasn't going to be able to, like you said, it was a daunting task. So we worked really, really well together. And the book, I hope from people who have read it, they know it's written completely in my voice. It's me who wrote a lot
I
of
love
it.
that on the Audible, it's your voice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my voice, and I sprinkle my humor into it every once in a while, and my perspective, while it might not always be appropriate. I feel like it was important for me just to be myself. I mean, I had this goody two shoe reputation, I think, where I give back, which is very true, but I also have like this weird quirky side of me that likes to come out every once in a while.
Yeah, I notice like every once in a while you'll post something that's really funny. So
Yeah,
you have like
yeah,
a dry sense of humor, which is you gotta laugh, especially right now, right?
exactly, exactly.
So is there like a limited belief that you've been struggling with that continues to stop you throughout your, every phase of your life?
I just think every once in a while I have insecurities like anybody else. My insecurities change.
Hmm.
Once I get over one of them, I find myself finding another one that I have. And I think that's common in a lot of adults and a lot of people here. Whether you're a kid, or whatever, I think there's a lot of people that are struggling with different insecurities and they change, and it's okay to have them. I think that was the biggest thing is I just always told myself I don't have them because insecurities are supposed to be a negative thing, and for me, I embrace it. I embrace the challenge of trying to break a stigma. I embrace the challenge of trying to get out of my comfort zone and really overcome and fight to be fully myself, if that makes sense.
Right, right. Do you ever, I mean, I think, a lot of people look at people like you and they think that, oh, that person has it made, or there's this comparison that comes, there's a comparing thing that comes into play. And so was there ever a part of you that felt like, oh, if I just get to be on The Bachelor, then I'll have it made. Or if I just get to this, then I'll have it made. Did you go through like stages of that?
I think, of course, we all set out and have these goals, and once we sort of hit an achievement that we know the goal becomes more realistic, it's pretty cool and rewarding. So I think for me, obviously, yeah, I went through different stages where getting a full ride scholarship for football, super excited. Then I went to college and I was starting, super excited. Then I went and I got an All-American season. So you slowly hit those and you're like, oh, this is great, this is great. Then you make it, and I was undrafted, which wasn't exactly how I thought my football career was going to go. So it was a little adversity there, but I don't think there's ever been a moment in my life where I've looked around and been like, I got this made. Like, this is easy. I always adjust my goals. I always adjust what I'm striving to do and striving to be. And some people like to think it's unrealistic, but for me, it's like, that's the only way I know how to operate. I try to shoot for the stars.
Exactly. I love that. Shoot for the stars. Yeah, I feel that there's there could be so many pressures too, as far as like when you do get to a certain point, like you got the Florida scholarship and then you got, this and or that. And so with your book, is there any sort of expectation you've put on yourself or that you felt from other people that you're supposed to like go out with this big bang?
Yeah.
Or so how?
I think for the book itself, my goal was to become a New York Times bestseller, and I
Mhm.
achieved that, which was really cool to say.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, I just think like anything that I do in my life, I want to give it everything I have, and I want everything I do to be successful. And I think everybody's sort of similar in that way for the most part. But for me, it's just, something that I try to hang my hat on every night, is that I gave everything my all the time.
Yeah. Do you feel, did you ever feel like, sometimes when I've released things, I'm like avidly looking at it to see if the numbers have gone up or to see if like people are commenting on things, if it's really important
Yeah.
to me. Did you have any of that going on, or were you just completely like, were you able just to detach?
Well, it was sort of a weird time just because I released the book right after my battle with coronavirus. So I was very well distracted with press and media and all sorts of things. So I didn't really number watch per se. I paid attention to the Amazon charts and how they were doing, and I just kept up with my team, and everybody was calling saying it was doing great. And I don't know, I just feel like it's my story, so it was a little more personal. So I just took pride in knowing that I put myself out there again.
And does that, I mean, does that feel vulnerable to you, to be knowing that what you've put out there, you can't take back? Like once you've sent it out into the world, out in
Yeah.
paper, you can't be like, oh shoot, I didn't mean that like that, and go back and
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to say something and take it back, but I mean, obviously we're all growing, and I say some dumb things that I might not mean in the moment, but you have to own it. I mean, it is who you are, and if it's a mistake, then it makes you better. That's my whole entire theory with it all.
Yeah, yeah. It's so easy. It's so I think too, like the bigger stage you have, the more it becomes confronting to have to be really sure with what you're
Yep.
saying, for sure. And then do you do you ever, like with your book coming out, have you and also too just in general with your presence, I know that there's like so many negativity that comes with every single move that people make. And so do you pay attention to and read all your comments, or like how do you self-care yourself to, keep your mindset balanced? What's your practice for that?
Well, I struggled with that very early on. I was responding to people who had negative things to say about me. And my whole thing is you're not, as humans, we're not all meant to be liked by everybody. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but some people aren't for other people. And I think once you have that mindset and once you sort of understand that, you can be okay with it. I'm not trying to be liked by everybody. I'm just trying to do my best here. And I feel like everybody's sort of in that same boat where they're just trying to do their best. They're trying to operate and live their life. And it goes with saying, I live a life that people might judge because I'm in the public eye, but I try not to. I catch myself every once in a while and being hypocritical and judging people, but who are we to judge another human on how they want to live their lives?
Ah, I love that. I love that. So I love how you're able just to kind of slide through all that. I think that's easy to
Yeah.
get stuck up in the gunk of it.
Yeah. And I think as my mood changes or depending on what type of day I have, obviously it can affect how I handle certain situations. Um, Sometimes I might respond to a comment. Other times I just let it go. But for the most part, I'm doing a better job of just letting things happen.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to be like, oh, and you want to like respond and like throw it
Yep.
back so easily.
Yeah.
um, and then, so, I've also been thinking about that, so when coronavirus first came out, at first it was like, okay, it's impacting people that are 65 and older,
Yep.
and people have underlying health problems. And then it transitioned into, okay, now it's impacting all ages, from infants to people our age. And so how, like, knowing that information beforehand, like what was that moment like when you were first diagnosed with COVID-19?
It was emotional. I had a bunch of different emotions coming through me because mine was sort of earlier on in the process of it all. So there was a lot of unknown. I was anxious, I was nervous, I was scared. But there was also a part of me that was hopeful and excited because even though I was just diagnosed with this illness that's literally ravaging our world right now. I thought, how cool would this be if I can beat this thing? And then I could have the antibodies and I could help one or two people out. So that was sort of the mindset that I took in with it. And now I'm working with the medical professionals here, some firefighters, some hospitals, just to try to figure out when and where and when it's appropriate to donate my blood and my plasma to help people.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. And what was it like? Was it scary, or did you not even have time to be scared? You're just so out.
I think there was a part of me that was scared. I mean, but for the most part, I just took on the mindset that, hey, this is an illness. I gotta get myself better. I mean, it was the scariest part about it was the not feeling able to breathe, feeling like I had to tell my lungs to breathe for the first time in my life. It's supposed to be an involuntary action, but I felt like I had to focus on my breathing. I had to focus on how much I was talking. I had to focus on getting up out of bed, taking a second before I walked to the bathroom, because that would win and make me fatigue. So it was more so frustrating and scary at the same time.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, I've felt that way swimming before, where I just need to catch my breath and it just takes my breath away that I have to catch my breath, which makes it even worse. And so
the anxiety does not help with it all.
oh man. Oh my God. I guess it's just like one foot in front of the other, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
And then everyone, I know you were bunked out at Cassie's house, but everyone in her family was fine after that. No one.
Yeah. Everybody went and got tested. I was the only one who tested positive for the antibodies, which means that I had corona and beat it. And everybody else in her family tested negative. So they did not get it. And, that's because they wore gloves and masks when they brought food up to me. And we worked really closely with the health department in Orange County, and they really helped us out.
That's amazing. And I heard that is this true? Did you catch coronavirus while you were social distancing?
Yeah, so that's the scariest part about it, is I don't really know when or where. I know that I was previously in a hot spot in Colorado for a ski event up in the mountains. And from there, I came back, and I guess that it was 2 weeks prior to when I first became symptomatic. So I don't know if I got it there. I don't know where I ran into it at. I think that's the scariest part about all this, is you don't need to have any symptoms, and you can still manage to spread it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what scares me too. It's just the idea of, what if I have it, but I'm just not showing any symptoms of it, and then I could be giving to someone at Trader Joe's or something.
Yep.
So have you come up with any sort of like great obsessions while you've been staying at home?
Ooh, I've been really tapping back into my grade school time of playing video games, so that's been fun. But for the most part, I've been staying busy. I've been trying to help out on social media, either sharing my story or making donations financially, products, whatever I can do to help. I'm just trying to stay connected with everybody and sort of make the best of this situation.
Yeah. I saw that you and Cassie are offering $1,000 a day for 7 days. That's so generous and thoughtful.
No, it's $1,000 a week for 7 weeks.
Just a week for 7 weeks. Okay.
We're probably going to be in this for another month or two. So we were like, well, everybody has something to look forward to at the end of the week on Sundays to start their week off. We want to share with them.
That's so cool. So then people can just go to your Instagram and
all they have to do is follow. I have a new series out called Coffee with Colton. So all you do is hit the follow button on the Instagram, and I'm going to be scrolling through the followers, selecting one person and getting their Venmo and sending them $1,000.
So then could I unfollow you and refollow you again for the second and third and fourth?
It doesn't matter. As long as you're following the account, I'm scrolling through the followers. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait. And you have a dog. What's your thing with dogs that you're doing?
So I run a Colton, my mom helps me run it, but I run a page called Colton Loves Dogs, and we just share foster stories and dogs that need rescuing or need help. And we just try to be there to support them and support the community.
Cool. So actually tomorrow I'm driving up to Santa Ana from San Diego, and I'm meeting a pup for the first time that I get to take.
Nice.
If hopefully she likes me. So
that's awesome. Congratulations. What type of pup is it?
She's actually a mini fox terrier, which I don't really know what that means, but that's her title. I'm not good on like dogs' names with what they look like. But
Yeah.
she's a mini fox terrier. She's 14 pounds. She's like 4
Very
pounds
cool.
overweight. She should be 11 pounds. And I'm going to
Oh,
name her
wow.
Pancake.
There you go. I like it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So are you like a big TV person? Are there any shows you recommend? Because I'm looking for new shows.
I've been watching The 100 on the CW. That was really good. And then I just started, it has Jason Bateman in it. It's called Ozark. That was a great show. That's a great show as well. I'm on episode 4 or 5 of season 1, so I still have quite a ways to go. But I haven't always been a huge TV guy. I've been more of a superhero. So like I like the Marvel series. I like Arrow on the CW. I like The Flash. I'm more a little bit of a closeted
Oh,
nerd.
okay. My former boss, I used to work on movies. He produced all the Marvels. Yeah,
Okay.
like Wonder
Yeah.
Woman and yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
awesome. Cool. But okay, so my favorite thing about you, just because you know that One Love Movement is a nonprofit and we're based off of doing all kinds of kind things to assist people, primarily kids for us in the world. And so one of the things I love about you is I read that you have a foundation. It's called Colton Underwood Legacy Foundation.
Yep.
And you opened it in honor of your 4-year-old, she was 4 at the time, Harper, your cousin, who was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis.
Yep.
And the thing that's so amazing about that, Colton, is that so many people are constantly moved by what other people have to go through in life, but not many people actually create a foundation to help with that. So I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, so I actually opened it for Harper, like you said, and just to support the local Children's Hospital of Illinois. And it was around the same time I was playing in the NFL, and one thing led to another, and then I was on national TV, and it sort of blew up and really in the CF community and became a national organization now that we're really trying to help people out. And we're still playing catch up a little bit because I didn't really design or build this thing to be on a national level, but we're having so much fun, and we're really just inspired and touched by all of the CF warriors out there. And, I always say I started it for Harper, but I continue to do it for every CF warrior that I meet day in and day out.
And how old is Harper today, and how is she doing?
I think she's 8.5 now, if my math is correct. 4
Cute.
years, about 9. She's doing great. We always joke that she's going to be the first obese CF patient because she loves to eat. And, CF patients typically tend to be smaller in stature just because they can't digest them properly, absorb the nutrients in their food. So it is a respiratory disease primarily, but it does affect the digestive system too.
Wow. And okay, so then she just is on maintenance, I guess, because there's no cure for it, right? So
yeah, so right now there's no set cure. There's new medications that are coming out that are extremely promising and have some great results, but she hasn't qualified for that one yet. But once she does, I have faith that she's going to live a full life.
And what specifically is the foundation doing to help with CF? I'll say that.
So the foundation, we wanted to be a little bit different than the actual Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which supports medical advances and research. So we just want to tell CF warriors stories. We want to be there for them to support. We also have a project going on right now where we donate a medical vest to a family with CF in each state. So the vest is their airway clearance treatments that they have to do about 2 times a day. So we just try to stay connected with the community. We try to tell their stories. We try to create this online support system that they have. And we're really, really passionate and excited for what we have coming out in the future.
That's amazing. And you had this, you did this when you were in college?
Yeah, well, right out of college was my
oh my gosh.
Right out of college.
That's amazing, Colton. Like right out of college, I was unconscious. I don't even know what happened during all those years.
Yeah.
They're like a blur. I call them my bumbling years, where I was just bumbling and hitting different walls and not sure which direction I was going. So that's incredible. That's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then what is the best way for people to help or to get involved with what you're doing?
Well, you can follow us on social media at Colton's Legacy, and then also online at coltonslegacy.org.
Okay. Amazing. Cool. And I'll make sure and put that in like the captions of everything.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I love what you're doing. So do you feel that I'm going to wrap it up with some sort of like, I think they're fun questions, but they're just questions
Cool.
for me and for people to get to know you more.
Sweet.
So abracadabra, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you want to fix first?
Fix.
Fix
I would.
or
I
solve
would.
or anything. Yeah.
I would say, man, that's a lot of pressure. Say world hunger. Just make
Ooh,
sure everybody deserves a good meal
yeah.
and to be fed.
That is pressure. You can change your answer at the end of this if you want
All
to.
right, good. Good.
Okay. What is your superpower, do you think?
I would like to teleport.
Oh.
I travel a lot and I don't like planes, so I was like, might as well just be able to travel or to teleport, and that'd be. Think how much time you'd have in your life if you could just teleport places. We spend so much time traveling to get to one, to get to a store, to get to one place or another.
Yeah. Would that be, especially in California, like parking
With
and
this
traffic?
traffic, it could save you 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Oh, okay. Pizza or
Yep.
burritos?
Neither. I'm not really a big pizza or burrito guy, which just seems a little weird. Maybe cauliflower pizza.
Oh
But
my gosh,
not really.
Cauliflower. You know
Cauliflower.
that brand
Oh,
Cauliflower?
no. Is it good?
Oh my God, it's
I need to try it.
Caullipower. They make the most
Okay.
amazing pizzas.
Okay. I'll have to check them out.
It's so good. It's so good. Cauliflower.
let's do
It's
it.
in like all the markets, Whole Foods, Sprouts, everything.
Cool.
So
I'll
wait,
check it
then
out.
what do you eat? Like what's your
I try to eat very clean. I guess if I had like a guilty pleasure, it's probably like fried foods, not French fries or anything like that. Maybe like sweet potatoes or appetizers that are fried. I'm a big appetizer guy. I love having lots of options.
Okay, yeah. So appetizers can be the dinner, right?
Exactly.
Okay, early bird or night owl?
Early bird. I'm up by like 6 a.m. every night, and I'm typically in bed by 10.
You're in bed by 10.
Yeah.
Wow. OCD or messy?
Cassie describes me as the best. I'm the messiest, cleanest person she's ever seen. I'm like, I don't know. I'm very organized. I'm like looking around at my place right now. It's like I'm very organized, but at the same time, like I'll have like a section that might be a little messy or dirty.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, and then I stole this one from Brene Brown because I've been hearing interesting answers she's getting from this. What is on your nightstand?
I have a fan because I have to sleep with white noise. I have a table lamp and a phone charger.
Oh, okay, very simple.
Yeah, and I think my book's sitting there right now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Amazing. Well, Colton, I am so appreciative for your time. I'm so appreciative that you said yes to my request of getting to interview. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being so vocal about having COVID-19. I'm super passionate that we all just do our part right now and we'll be out of it before you know it. And I love the work you do with CF. So thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and I just want to do a quick thank you to my friend Dee and to Kayla and to Sam for assisting with putting this together. I'm so appreciative for the opportunity. And everyone go and get Colton's book. It's on Audible. It's in his voice, which was my favorite part of the book. And check out his foundation, the Colton Underwood Legacy Foundation. And thank you so much for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Colton. Thank you.
Bye.